Hello, 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 YouTube. Thanks for joining. I am the messenger for the ones. But you all can call me Lady Love. I'm here with my Bigo family. We thought we'd drop in and sit a spell. But we won't be here too long. While we're here. There are many things in life that can cause trauma, triggers, and all of these traumas and triggers cause change, one way or another. Some change can be bad, but eventually it can turn for the good of everyone involved. And that's what we're going to talk about on this freshly day. As we all know, loss can cause major trauma, changes, unhappiness. It's kind of like when Jane leaves the forest, Tarzan goes crazy. He either goes crazy or he steps into his genius consciousness. Which one are you? We must remember our prime purpose in life is to help people. And if you can't help them, at least don't hurt them. I'd like to speak briefly about the black sheep. There's always one or two in the family. You see, the black sheep is the one who travels down the rabbit holes and back up and back down again. Truly misunderstood. And when you're misunderstood, most of the time you're mishandled. Find yourself trapped more times than a few, only to be one thing, but proven to be set up in order to look like a sellout. In order for your higher self and source to get the victory. For you and the collective, these things had to take place. Hey Blue, I'm a Jid. Thanks for joining, guys. Thanks for the love. But through it all the heartache and pain that you never should have had to go through, especially with family or those who you thought loved you or said they did, how they wish they knew what you do. And you knew they would, and they did. only to be rejected. This trigger causes growth eventually for some and defeat for others. They told you all of your life of how special you were. You somehow grew up thinking you were the only one, and others allowed you to believe it. Well, now that you're grown and on your own, now that you know the truth, what will you do with it? Will you change or stay the same? I'm talking about those who come from families. Hello, Paul. Thank you. They treated you better than everyone else, so you learned early how to play the part. You never wanted to break out of this tragic cycle of toxic behavior because you enjoyed it. Until now, you didn't see it as a problem. Now that no one in the world wants to coddle you, you're upset. It's a great time to shift your perception, and your perspective, your thinking, and wake up. It will do no good to wake up first, because you will only rock yourself back to sleep due to you not renewing your own mind. As for my collective, we're not going. We already went. This is for those who try to follow us, those who just went. We are those whom were sent. So for all who wanted to know, I just told you, those who allowed this world to mold them are dealing with the consequences thereof. I'm going to talk a minute about the power of the 9 order. Now that a decision has been made, no going back and forth in your mind, no stress. There's a good gentleman who has come a long way, truly a child of the Most High, held in high honors with the Most High. He's learning that he has ran across the perfection of the Most High in another. This alone is a force within itself. Your soul remembered how to alchemically heal and restore oneself, calling back gifts of old in order to restore all things ready and worthy. As we know, every 7 years our system is restored. This is the new thing. This is something totally different. But before all of this, these wonderful things started to happen in your life, and before you could see clearly, you've been, a fool for all the wrong reasons. So now let's be smart enough to outsmart the fool. dealt with Decepticons, you know what that's like, you know. It's kind of like the number 38. 38 will always reduce to 11, and eventually it becomes 2. That means a sound mind, balanced. Until then, meaning until it's divinely designed and balanced, it will not work properly. You see, for some of you, the stability that you seek will forever escape you due to the imbalance. So get in balance and let's stabilize you for good. This will determine if you are a true chosen one or a Decepticon or not. For those who've been through the worst get back ever. Someone went to jail for something they did not do. Did time for some. And when in jail, you had to beg for what was already yours. You had to beg for your own money to be sent to you by those that you've taken care of for years. They had no problem spending your money. But it's a huge problem sending it to you. Now you know those hard lessons. Now you know what others were trying to tell you before you got caught up. You know exactly who's who in your circle. You were framed, and there are 3 people that know the truth, but no one said a word. They also spent some of your money to satisfy themselves. The one you thought you could trust at the time was the mastermind behind it all. You see, you didn't care about the money. That wasn't the issue. It was the heart of those who smiled in your face and told you to disengage with others. But now you understand it was simply because they didn't want you to find out about all the mischief that they were involved in. You could be an earth sign or not, or there's one involved. You're free now. You see the master of your attempted demise. You can now take hold of your mind, the situation, and the land. All has been perfected for you, but you had to go through this dark night of the soul in order to do your shadow work, so that you could be better for yourself and everyone else that actually needs you. As they have said, as it is written, you can now take hold of the land. It's perfect for the giants. And that's what you are. That's why it took so many to attempt to defeat you. Now that you're moving into calmer waters, avoiding the devil's tactics and games, staying focused on what is at hand, and moving forward, not just in your heart and mind, but your feet are moving. You're actually taking action. Good for you. You've taken time as you've been in hermit mode and what we call shut-ins or fasting, isolation. You stepped into your inner power. You asked for the courage to endure the situation and the power to do what had to be done, and that was given. You've explored the inner sacred temple that you possess. You can now walk in the truth of knowing who you truly are, not who you were told you were, not who you were taught you were, but who you are. Truly balanced. You have the ability to connect with the pulse of Mother Earth. She will continue to guide you through your time of change. The numbers 333 may be significant for you as you continue to balance. You know that you're on path. Ask the higher self, the Most High, Spirit, Source, to help you to trust the process and the plan. Because it goes far beyond sometimes what you can see. And this will move you past the illusions and the momentary fear that arises. Continue moving toward your true north. You have an inner compass that will not fail you. It's stored within the black box that is inside of you that cannot be touched or tampered with. You are the blue star. It will lead you. You will lead oneself as you guide by just being yourself, and allow others to find their own way and their own path. The truth resides within your soul. And if you're wondering if you're on path, the answer is yes, if you're here. No matter good, bad, ugly, and different. Because see, every path leads you to the true path eventually. Stay in the present and don't get too far ahead of yourself. If you get too far ahead of yourself, you're too far ahead of the flow. You'll understand from now on that nothing will be put on you that you cannot handle and endure. In every moment, you'll find the strength, courage, wisdom to walk through the doors of possibility that have been hidden in plain sight all the time. Yes, this is indeed a spiritual journey. There's nothing to be released. You've released everything that needs to be released. And even when you arise after the fast of the night or day, whatever schedule you're on, know and remember that there's always something that needs to be released. Release anything that keeps you from your path of authenticity. Your truth, not someone else's, not the family's truth, your truth. This is real freedom. And this is what I've been getting to since I've mashed the button to go live. Freedom. You no longer want a fiery ring of resentment to block the good. You've been released from the bonds. And you stand in the shadow of the Almighty, who has given you this freedom. And nothing and no one can take it. This is part of what we call your own personal spiritual retirement plan, if you will. So, at this point, the last thing I need you all to do is sacrifice your consciousness, your awareness. This is not a time for hibernation. Do not fall asleep. Take your quiet, wakeful nature with you into the stillness and know that you are replenishing your life force. Trust that the deeply buried seeds inside your soul, the ones you planted even before you were born, are stirring softly, ready to awaken with the spring. And here we are. But do not try to stir and rouse them too soon, too early. Instead, surrender to the quiet just a little longer. Remember, the wrong slumber can put you where you don't want to be. It can cause you to lose consciousness and become caught in a nightmare. So I say to you again, awaken. Awaken, my love. Awaken, my children. Find that easy return to wakefulness that brings you clarity. This is the time to set your priorities in order. Yet not act on any of them right now, but set them in order. Allow the clarity and the transparency that comes with a steady flow from the divine, from the Most High, from your higher self, to permeate your heart and soul. The time for action will come later. For some, you're already in it. For others, but wherever you are, remember that all things are born of dreams. And your task is to wake up within the dream, to lucidly guide it to your chosen destination. Okay? You sit at the right hand of God. And there are many people that are unhappy about this. However, they're just discoveries. They're not issues or problems. You see, you went through the voyages, good, bad, and ugly, and different, chosen just for you, designed just for your journey. So now you get to sit in the circle of fame and renown, influence, with the Most High. This is your proper place. Because the Most High has exalted you, do too. You doing your own work. Victory grants victory and protection from lightning. So, as the Most High God Goddess that dwells in all places takes care of business and brings down lightning, you will not be harmed in this process, because you know who your Savior is. You know who rectified you. You know you're here to help others live in the same peace that you abide in. Stand in your strength. Continue to stay loyal. And know that you are saved from those who seek to oppress you. Your loyalty has brought you victory. Your gifts have made room for you. You have no worries. So as God humiliates the proud, you will have continual spiritual communication. Continue to be who you are and do what you've been called to do. And await instruction. Thank you for joining. I am the messenger for the ones, but you all can call me Lady Love. Until next time.